Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
So let's say you want to watch The Rise of Skywalker, and to celebrate it, you're going to do an entire marathon for Star Wars. Well, to do that, you can do it at the AMC theaters, where they're going to be showing every single Star Wars episodic film leading up to The Rise of Skywalker Star Wars Episode 9, and you'll be able to see Episode 9 a full hour before everyone else in your time zone at those said AMC theaters that you pick. It's not that big of a deal if it's just an hour. If we're being honest, you can even see the film on December 19th, a day before it opens on December 20th. But a lot of people like to do these big marathons for the Star Wars films. Last time I know they did this was for Episode 7. I really don't think they did it for Episode 8, but they're doing it for Episode 9 because it is all the episodic Star Wars films in the Skywalker saga. But it does not include Rogue One or Solo, A Star Wars Story. And to be honest, it kind of makes sense in my eyes. That feels like if I'm doing a binge watch of all the Star Wars movies, I likely would use those two films as the time to get my sleep in for the rest of the films. That and probably Attack of the Clones and maybe even The Phantom Menace. I don't know. There's a lot of Star Wars films that, I've seen them so many times, easily over 100 to 200 times in my lifetime. It's kind of like, man, do I really want to watch them all again in one sitting before The Rise of Skywalker just to see it an hour earlier? Not my cup of tea personally, but a lot of fans are into this big kind of binge watching thing. I would do this if I had like a friend or two to go do this with and just go on a big marathon. But honestly, I really don't have the heart to rewatch all the Star Wars movies. The only thing that intrigues me about this is seeing the original trilogy in theaters and also seeing the prequel trilogy on the big screen again. It's been a long time since I've seen those films on the big screen. I saw the prequels when they came out, of course, back when they debuted in the theaters. But since then, the only time they kind of reappeared in theaters was for the 3D release of The Phantom Menace. And even when that came out, I was younger, but I didn't have the heart to go see that. I couldn't have cared less. But this is a binge watch of binge watching. 27 hours of Star Wars films. That's a lot. That's a dedication right there. And really, the only three I would want to watch are the original trilogy, simply because they're on the big screen. I really don't care to re-see The Last Jedi again on the big screen. And the prequels, that would just be for the nostalgia factor of me growing up with those films and seeing those again in theaters. But if you want to do this, I don't know how much it's going to cost. But despite the cost, AMC says they're going to give you a concession stand food thing, which is probably like a medium popcorn to last you those 27 hours, a pen, and a blanket. Yay! You get to wrap yourself up, put a pin on it saying that you spent 27 hours watching Star Wars films in one day instead of going out to do something else with your life. And you got to see The Rise of Skywalker an hour earlier before everyone else in your area did. Because, to be fair, like December 18th and 19th, I'm pretty confident there's already going to be early screenings for The Rise of Skywalker. And in other countries, I know on December 18th, they're going to get the film earlier than we Americans do. So it's kind of like pick your poison, I guess. If you really want to see this film that much earlier, just go to the premiere that they have in December of this year. I don't know how many days ahead of it is going to be, but still, there's a premiere for it. There's early press screenings, and they got a lot of cool stuff that you can get in on to see this film earlier. But if you want to see it an hour earlier than everyone else in your area and do a binge watch for 27 hours of Star Wars content, this is your thing, AMC theaters. I'm not doing this. I don't have the heart. I'm sorry. Rewatching the prequels, I'll do it every blue moon. Seeing them in theaters is a enticing offer. Seeing the original trilogy in theaters again, or for the first time in my opinion, for me at least, is enticing. But seeing the sequels again, I'm okay. I don't need to rewatch all of this right before The Rise of Skywalker. I'm pretty confident by the end of that 27-hour binge, when I get to The Rise of Skywalker, I could give less of a fuck about the movie. I'd be so tired. I don't know how you can sleep during this process. But hey, pick your poison. But tell me your thoughts. Are you going to go see The Rise of Skywalker an hour earlier and do a 27-hour Star Wars episodic saga binge watch? Tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.